Okay, so let us start this lecture. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us start this lecture. So in this lecture, we will prove a very important theorem regarding the fact that we will show that this the equivalence we have defined in the for categories is an equivalence relation. That is what we want to prove. So in order to get that, we will have to prove this theorem, or you can call it as proposition. So this is the proposition that we want to prove. So there are two parts in this proposition. First is that if you have an equivalence from a category C to category D, say F is an equivalence, is an equivalence, then you also have an equivalence, then there exists an equivalence, there exists an equivalence, an equivalence G from D to C. So you have an equivalence F from C to D, then there exists an equivalence G from D to C. This is the first part. And the second part is that if you have an equivalence from C to D, say F, and an equivalence D to some other category E, say that is H, then so is, so the composition of two equivalences is an equivalence. So is from C to E, that is H composition F. So these two things we have to prove. Okay, so let us see. Proof is not straightforward, but you will understand it. So let us see the proof first. So you have given that F is an equivalence. Means what? So F is an equivalence. So this means F is full, faithful, and isomorphism dense. So this means F is full, faithful, and isomorphism dense. And isomorphism dense. Isomorphism dense. So this means what? Since by isomorphism dense we mean that so by isomorphism dense we mean that for each D object B, for each D object B, there exists some C object. There exists some C object A such that there is a C isomorphism. They are isomorphic in D such that FA to B there is an isomorphism. Okay, an isomorphism, an isomorphism in D. Means they are these two objects, they are isomorphic in the category D. So we have to define a functor from G to. So first we have to define this and show that this is a functor, and then it has to satisfy the properties of equivalence. Means it should be full, faithful, and isomorphism dense. Okay. So now this is very important. This would actually this na the isomorphism dense of this F would actually help me to, because I have to associate, so I have to define. So define G from D to C. So when I am defining G from D to C, I have to associate to each object of this B a unique in object in C, and that I can do by isomorphism dense property, because in isomorphism dense case, for each object B there exists an object A such that they are isomorphic. So I will call this A as GB, no problem, because I need to associate each B, each object here, an object here. So suppose A is in a object in this B is a D object, so I would there exists some object A such that they are isomorphic. So I will call that object A as GB. I will associate in this fashion. Okay. Now define G from D to C as follows. For each D object B, choose an object GB. Choose an object GB. GB is the A that exists because of this isomorphism dense property. Okay. In fact, we can choose it. We can choose it, or such an object exists. We can choose it. So for each D object B, choose GB, an object of C, an object of C, and this GB is not an arbitrary. This is not. It is a special kind of object in the sense that this B and F of GB, they are isomorphic, such that B and F of GB, they are isomorphic. Isomorphic. So they are isomorphic. So but isomorphic in D, in the category D. So let that isomorphism be epsilon B. So let epsilon B from FGB to B be that isomorphism, be the said isomorphism morphism in D. In so I got so I am able to associate to each D object B an object GB. Okay, this one such that F of GB and B, they are isomorphic via this isomorphism epsilon B. So now I have to, as to each object I am able to associate an object. Now suppose I have two objects and there is a morphism, so I have to also associate the morphisms to the morphisms. So let b comma b dash be d objects, be d objects, and g from b to b dash be the dimorphism, be the dimorphism. So I have this situation now. So here b and here b dash, and here this morphism is g. Now I want to act this functor this mapping on g. Okay. Now I am able to do for objects. For objects I am able to do. I got this gb and I also got this gb dash with this property that they are fgb is isomorphic to b. Okay. Now what could be this gg? I don't know. So far I don't know, but I will guarantee that I can also find out the required gg here with the help of some argument. Now I will draw this diagram. Now you consider this diagram. Consider the following diagram. The following commutative diagram. This diagram actually commutes. Commutative. This is very important diagram. So see here. Here you have B, here you have B dash, and here you have G, the morphism. But B is isomorphic to this FGB. FGB via this functor epsilon B. This isomorphism, sorry. This isomorphism epsilon B. Same is the case here. This B dash would be isomorphic to FGB dash via the isomorphism say epsilon B dash. Okay. Now what do I do here? If I compose these three map, no, this is an isomorphism, so its inverse from here to here also exists. Let it be epsilon inverse B dash. Okay. So what do I do here? I compose this epsilon B G and epsilon dash B inverse to get a morphism from here to here. Okay. So call this morphism as G dash. What is G dash then? G dash is nothing but this composition epsilon B dash inverse composition G composition epsilon B. So this is from FGB to FGB dash. Now I can apply the full and faithfulness of this, and I show that such a map is unique, such a G dash is unique. है ना? Because now I can apply. I have now a morphism here. This G dash is actually what? G dash is belonging to home D of F of GB, comma F of G of B dash. Okay, so all the home F, this F, because F is full and faithful, so while restricted on home sets, है ना? Now I am actually taking this restriction F restricted on home C GB GB dash. I am taking this restriction to this home D FGB comma FGB dash, तो मैं ये ले रहा हूँ. Now G is here. This G, sorry, this G dash. Now this D dash lies here. Now F is full and faithful. By full you will get its pre-image here. The pre-image of this GG dash. This G dash. फुल से आपको इसकी प्री इमेज मिलेगी यहाँ, और फेथफुल से वो प्री इमेज आपको यूनिक मिलेगी. बाय फेथफुलनेस दैट प्री इमेज इज यूनिक. ओके. ओके. So by full and faithfulness of this, you will get the pre-image of this functor, this morphism. Okay. So by full and faithfulness of F, there exists unique morphism here. You call it as GG. There exists unique GG morphism in this home set belonging to this home GB comma GB dash comma GB dash, such that this G dash is what? G dash is FGG. G dash is FGG. Okay. So once this GG is unique, this G dash is also unique. This FGG is also unique. Okay. So I am able to get a morphism because of full and faithfulness of this. Given a morphism from B to B dash G, I am able to get a morphism GG from GB to GB dash. Okay. So the question that I raised is now solved, and this GG is unique. This GG is unique, and this GG has the property that this square commutes. Okay. So thus this GG from GB to GB dash is unique such that this square commutes. The diagram, this diagram commutes. Diagram commutes. So you have here you have B dash, this is G, this is FGB, this is now FGB dash. Now this morphism I call FGG. Okay. Initially it was GG dash, it was G dash, but I am denoting this by FGG. And this is what? Epsilon B dash isomorphism. This is epsilon B isomorphism. Okay. So call this diagram as star. This is very important diagram because I would use it in the future discussion. Okay, so I am able to define a mapping. So I am able to define a mapping from the category D to the category C in such a fashion that for any objects B and B dash and any morphism G, so I am able to assign it the object GB, the object GB dash, and the unique morphism GG. And this unique morphism GG has this property that this diagram becomes commutative. Commutative means So this is unique. This FGG is also unique. Okay. Once GG is unique, FGG is unique. So this diagram commutes. This diagram commutes means if I take this composition and go from here to here via the inverse of this isomorphism, I have this one. Okay. Now I will show that G is a functor. So my claim is that now G is a functor. G is a functor. So for functor, first it should respect the identities, it should respect the composition, and it should respect the identities. So first I will show that G respect identities. G respect identities. Again I will use this diagram. Okay. So suppose I have B to be the identity on B. Okay. Identity on B. But here B is isomorphic to FGB. FGB via epsilon B. Again this is FGB. FGB via epsilon B. Okay. And this morphism according to my definition is what? This is f of G of identity on B. F of G of identity on B. Okay. And from here to here you have what? Epsilon B inverse. Now if I compose these three morphism, what I get then? Now epsilon B inverse, epsilon inverse B, composition identity on B, composition epsilon B. Okay. Now identity morphism composed with any morphism, you get back the same morphism. So this is epsilon inverse B, composition epsilon B. Okay. So epsilon B, composition epsilon inverse B means what? Identity on FGB. Okay. This is identity on FGB. So I have a morphism from here to here, means from FGB to FGB, which is identity on FGB. But I know that such a morphism is unique. Such a morphism is unique, such that this thing is true. So by uniqueness, I have this. I should have this. F of G of identity on B has to be identity on F of G of B. But identity on F of G of B, since F is a functor, so it is F of identity of G of B. But F is also injective. It's faithful. So on home set restriction, on this home set restriction, this is also injective. So by faithfulness of F, I would get that I can cancel this F. Okay. So by faithfulness of F, by faithfulness of F, it implies that G of this G of identity on B is identity on GB. So G respects the identities. Now again, I will use the composition and uniqueness and the commutativity of the diagrams to get that G respects the composition. So second part, okay. So there is some, okay. what happens? Oh, there is some problem with this pen, I think. So second, G respects composition. G respects compositions. Suppose I have from B to B dash morphism G and B dash to say B double dash, I have morphism H. Then again I can draw the squares which are commutative. So this is FGB. This isomorphism is epsilon B. Okay. This is FGB dash. This morph is epsilon B dash is the isomorphism, and this is FG of G. Here I have this FG of B double dash, and this morphism, unique morphism, is F of G dash. Okay, now I have to do this thing. First I have to take this whole diagram. I have to just forget the middle one. Okay, if you forget the middle diagram, this middle arrow, this vertical arrow, you will have you will have this morphism. So you take this as one arrow, call this arrow as H composition G. Okay, call this arrow as H composition G. Forget about this middle one. So this arrow is H composition G. So treating the whole thing as one square, so this would be what? From here to here, this would be F of G of H composition G. Okay, but if you tackle these two grams separately, you consider this one also, then you also have this mapping. What is that? Sorry, this is H. You also have F of G of H composition F of G of G. F of G of G. So there are two ways of look. What I'm saying is here that there are two ways of looking this diagram. पहले तो आप इस बीच वाले इस कॉलम इसको भूल जाओ, इस मॉर्फिज्म को, इसको इन टोटो देखो. जब आप इसको इन टोटो देखोगे तो आपको ये वाली मॉर्फिज्म मिलेगी यहाँ से यहाँ पे, जो इसका इसका और इसका कंपोजिशन होगी, इसके इनवर्स का. इनफैक्ट दिस इज एप्सिलॉन बी डबल डैश एंड दिस इज एप्सिलॉन इनवर्स बी डबल डैश. तो ये मिलेगा. लेकिन अगर आप अलग अलग देखोगे तो देन यू हैव दिस वन, बट बाय यूनिकनेस these two have to be same. So by uniqueness, f of G of H composition G is f of G of H composition f of G of G. Now f is a functor, so it respects the composition. So you have this one now. So you have now, you can have this. This is equal to f of G of H composition G of G. Okay. Now again, since f is faithful, so I can cancel this f. So this means G of H composition G is same as G of H composition G of G. So G respects composition. So thus G is a functor. Thus G is a functor. Now my goal is to show that it is an equivalence. So it should be full, faithful, and isomorphism. dense. So next we show that G is a functor. Next we show that G is a functor. So first thing that you have to show is that G is full. Full means it is surjective on all home sets restriction. So let G restricted on say home D B comma B dash to home C GB comma GB dash be the home set restriction of G, be the home set restriction of this functor G. So I have to choose any morphism here and I have to show that its pre-image lies here under the functor G. Okay, so let f from GB to GB dash be any C morphism, be a C morphism. Okay, so then since f is a functor, so f of f would be a morphism from f of G of B to f of G of B dash will be a dimorphism, will be a dimorphism. Okay, so if you see this here you have B, you have B dash, and this morphism is G, and here you have f of G of B. So this diagram is very important to me because I am using it again and again. Okay, so this is epsilon B, this is epsilon B dash, epsilon B dash. So I have this morphism F na here, but I know that if I have G, then I have a unique morphism that I call G of G. Okay, G of G. So by uniqueness, this f must be G of G. So f, this small f must be G of G, because I have the unique morphism which makes this diagram commute, f of G of G. So this f must have to be G of G. F must have to be G of G. Okay, so therefore once f is G of G, I am done. Okay, so I am getting a morphism G in home BB dash such that f is equal to G of G. So f is full. This G is full. Next, I will apply the similar argument to show that it is faithful. So G is faithful. G is faithful. Suppose I have two morphisms from B to B dash. Okay, one is G1, other one is G2. Okay, such that G of G1 is G of G2. It is F say. Then I can get a similar type of three squares which make uh, commutative squares. Okay, So this square I am calling a star. This initial square that I got here, it is star. Okay. So I will get similar. I can apply this star 3 times to get this one. So then by application of diagram star, then by application of diagram star, this G1 is nothing but epsilon dash B composition f of G1 composition epsilon B inverse, which is also equal to epsilon B dash composition f of F composition epsilon B inverse, which is also equal to epsilon B dash composition f of G2 composition epsilon B inverse, and which would be G2. Okay, so this would actually imply that G1 is same as G2. So which shows that G is faithful. So thus G is faithful. Thus G is. So I have shown that G is faithful. Now last thing that is to be shown is that G is isomorphism dense. So finally we show that this functor G is isomorphism dense. Isomorphism dense. Okay, so let now here G is from where? G is from D to C. Now choose an object I. So given any let A be any C object, be any C object. So I should find a B object, D object B. So there must exist. So there must exist a D object B such that GB is isomorphic to A, such that there exists a C morphism from GB to A. There must exist a C morphism from GB to A. So this is my goal. Given any A object, given any C object A, I should get a D object B such that GB and A, they are isomorphic in the category C. Okay. Now A is a C object, so therefore FA is a D object. Now FA is a D object. FA is a D object, and this functor is F is isomorphism dense. Okay, and since F is isomorphism dense, and since F is isomorphism dense,